Hello everyone, it's firesplitter here, and tonight we are gonna see a run of Hello Kitty cruisers, all tours with items in version 1.01. Gonna start pretty immediately here. Gonna pick our favorite character, which is Curly, and we are gonna start right up here. Time is gonna start on 3, 2, 1, and start! Boop. There we go. I said it's version 1.01, which is a new version of the game that did add a couple of interesting things to it. It's mostly just additional bugs and such. We are already seeing some of that when we get stuck to that wall. What they basically added in this version of the game was that they added it so that when you crash to a wall you are slowing down. The problem is that the way in which you slow down is not really functional, so instead the camera is like starting to jump all over the place. I'm not certain why. My theory is that they basically try to convert horizontal speed to like vertical speed or something like that, so that the camera starts to mess up. To try to slow down the car. It only works with the car as well, so it's like a really interesting added feature. There's gonna be another couple of surprises that was added in 1.01 as well, if anyone has seen me run 1.00 before. So yeah. The very other important thing of this game to know is that the AI in this game is not exactly the best AI in racing gaming, to say the least. There we go, lovely. Here we start stage 2. The AI is infamous in this game for going all over the place. On some courses they can actually get stuck in walls where they can never really get out. But here's the first boating stage. The boating controls in this game is actually one of the things I found the most significant in my first playthrough, because the boating controls in this game is actually really horrible, because the boat can't really make sharp turns unless you drift at certain intervals. So the steering with the boat is actually a lot of like pressing the drift button at the exact right point to get your turn to get exactly as sharp as you want to be. That took a long time to get used to, but once you're used to it, it's actually playable. But at first I got like flung all over the place, kind of like the AI does. There we go, let's go through here. We need to go through these rings to gain some extra speed. Missing those rings is obviously not good with speedrunning. Getting some pies. This game has a lot of fun items. The only 3 items we are actually caring about in a marathon setting perspective is the clock, the rainbow, and the triple boost. The clock because the AI can get the clock, and the clock works like the lightning from Mario Kart. And the rainbow works like the bullet bill, although it's very much a worse version of the bullet bill, because it uses the same interesting routing as the AI does. So if you use the rainbow at certain points, you can actually go around in a circle for the duration of the rainbow. It's something we really don't want to see happening. So yeah, but if we use the rainbow in the wrong parts, I haven't identified all of those parts yet, because it's very rare to get rainbows in the first place. And if you get rainbows, you basically want to use them in straight lines as well, and in straight lines it basically never happens. And then the final one is the triple boost. The triple boost we do hope to see, but it's very rare. It's probably rare to see that in the rainbow. And that works like the triple mushroom. You can only really get those in last to 4th place, I think, unless during very certain circumstances. Let's see here. Those circumstances are as follows. It can happen, as I said before, during the 4th to 8th place, and then you can have it happen at the first item box you pick up on any course. I don't know how that occurs though, but it's far more likely to happen on the first course on any tour, and I have really rarely seen it happen on the 4th course on any tour. I would guess it has something to do with your position on the race and stuff like that. Let's see here. But then the final way is the most interesting. And this is where the biggest major glitch in this game comes in. And that is in the RNG manipulation glitch. And that is, if you have an item, it's really not as much about RNG manipulation as it is about knowing certain rules for how it can occur. But it basically, you basically skip the RNG update on the item. So if you have held an item before, if you pick up an item box without picking up any item box in between, you can pick up the item you previously had. This goes for any item really, but the only items that are really significant when it happens to is the clock, the rainbow, and the triple boost. The triple boost is what we want to see. We want to see triple boost. I actually do have a run where I got 6 triple boosts in a row in one course. It was an amazing run. I went through the entire stage using triple boost all through it. It was amazing. But the most scary part is that this glitch does not only affect us, it actually does affect the AI as well. Which means that once the AI get one clock, they are far more likely to get more clocks in the future. So in this game, it's not too unusual to once you get clocked once, you can get clocked throughout the entire race, which is a gigantic time loss. Imagine like if you play Mario Kart and you get lightning and then you get lightning on again and again and again. That is very likely to happen in this game due to this glitch. So even though it's a glitch that's really, really good, in a speedrunning sense, it's horrible. It's actually horrible on average. Like the glitch on average actually loses your time. And when it gains your time, it's huge when it gains your time. And here we go, starting Tour 2. This is the scariest course of the run, not because it's hard, but because this course has a bad habit of crashing. This is the only course that really, really crashes. So we have to hope that the course doesn't crash. If it crashes, we are basically gonna lose 2 minutes, but we still gotta be very well in estimate. But if we go through this course without any problems, we gotta finish way below the estimate. So let's hope that happens. I don't know why the game decides to crash so much on this course. It probably has to do with that there are a lot of details in this course in the background that keeps moving. And we do also have bees and a lot of fun stuff going on. But it's probably that the game overloads for some other reason. It could also be because the AI does weird stuff. I haven't really identified why the game crashes. Only that it's actually less likely to happen in 1.01 than it was in 1.00, which is really appreciated. But I have had it happen, actually, pretty recently. And there we have the first clock. Thankfully we got a glitchy clock. I'm gonna explain how the glitchy clock works. If we are getting clocked at certain points during a speed boost cycle, we are actually locked in by the clock at a higher speed than our normal top speed. This is because the clock puts us on a speed that is basically on a certain percentage of oh no, the game is slowing down, the game can crash now if we are unlucky. Let's hope it doesn't happen. Okay, we should be safe now. The game stabilized itself. That's good. That's good. But yeah, you get locked in on a certain percentage. The game does, however, register that you are in a speed boost, so it does take that into account and locks you into a certain percentage of your normal top speed instead if the game registers you are in a speed boost. However, there is a window during at the end of a speed boost and when you go back to normal speed, when you are above your normal top speed, it's not registered by the game as being in top speed or in speed boost. So you're actually locked in on in those circumstances at a speed that is way above your normal top speed. So those are the times where the clock can save you time, but it's so RNG dependent, it's something you really have no control over. The only way you really can control it is by hitting all of the speed boosts, which you want to do anyways. It's like, doesn't really matter. It's like also another layer of RNG really on top of this run. Which is already extremely RNG heavy due to the nature of the RNG glitch. And this is one of the courses where the AI is in love with getting into the walls. You can see one little poor AI there who is in the bottom corner there and was basically stuck in a wall for a while, and now they are out of there and they were driving the wrong direction. They are still in there. The AIs have really large problems with round parts that go round like that. The problem is the AI think that they have to go through the wall at the end there to get through the course, because the AI routing think that the shortest route is actually through this wall here. That is why they get stuck there, because they think they can go through the wall. So they are trying to get to this point through that wall, which obviously doesn't work because there's a wall there, but it's basically what's happening, and that's why they get stuck there. There has been times when every single AI has been stuck on that wall in particular. There is another course later we're gonna see way more of that, where the AI is far more likely to get stuck in walls. And here we go. This course is one of the more interesting courses from a course mechanic perspective, because we have a little vortex here that sucks us towards the middle. Which is a quite fine detail, actually. This also makes this part right there the most scary part of the entire run to get clocked in. If we get clocked there, we can basically just get stuck into the wall and we can't get out. So we are stuck in the wall for like the duration of the clock, which loses a significant amount of time. It's far worse than any other clock, really, which is quite nasty. This course is always scary to do a speedrun of, because you know that can happen. It's not as scary as the flying stage we just had, where the game can crash, but it's still really scary. There we go. We have one more lap to get through that part without getting crashed. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Gotta shoot out those. We don't want those. Let's see if I can get a shield here. We can take the pipes then, if that's what the game gives us. I do much rather prefer the shield, because what we really use the pipes for in this game is basically to throw them into cones that are in our way, so we don't crash to them. But for that purpose, a shield is much better. Oh no, we get clocked here! Ooh, can we get through? Okay, good. Ooh, we got through. We just barely got through before the wall. And there we go, what I talked about before with the RNG glitch. One clock rarely comes alone in this game. We made it through, we didn't get stuck in the wall at least. That's something we really want to avoid. It's still not good, but it's like way better. There we go, next course. This course contains one of the coolest tricks in the game. On this course we are gonna experience another, I think it's a glitch, I'm not certain it's a glitch or not, but I think it's a glitch. When we go through several circles in a row, our top speed is actually gonna be higher than normal, because the game doesn't go back and the game puts us at a certain percentage of the current speed as our new top speed. This has an interesting effect here. We can go through here and we can go through here. As we go through here, we are gonna have to drift in this turn here. If we don't drift in this turn here, we are not gonna be able to get into that ring. Even though we have to cuddle with the wall there, it's worth it to ensure we get through that ring, because it's very likely otherwise we miss that ring, and that is a huge time loss, because then we can't maintain the increased speed. So we're basically going faster and faster at this point, because the game doesn't really go back to our normal speed, because we are getting through these rings in such quick succession. And there we go. And now it's time for one of the more fun parts of this game, but also a little scary one. We're going through the final potato course. We call this Potato Road because these things does not look like what's supposed to. And we are stuck with a lot of potatoes on the stage. What we want to avoid here is basically crashing potatoes. It doesn't really matter when we are in Rainbow, really, because the game decides where we go. And we don't really lose any speed. The scary part about getting stuck there is that you lose control of your car. But yeah, what we need to keep track on here is the potato cycles a little bit. Ooh, there we go, another rainbow, that's nice. That was the RNG duplication glitch. We're normally not supposed to be able to get these in first place, but we were lucky. We were lucky there. And we are on a good potato cycle as well. I think we shouldn't see any problems in the potato cycle unless we get clocked. If we get clocked, then we're gonna get a little thrown off in the potato cycle we are currently on. Or if we get another rainbow, but another rainbow would be cool. Of course we didn't get another rainbow. We're on a good potato cycle now because of where the potatoes were when we went through before. It's really important to keep track of these potato cycles because they affect how you want to go. You always want to try to take the good road, but sometimes it's simply not possible, like here, because then I will get squished by the potato. So you have to keep track of that stuff. Yeah, we should be able to get... Okay, good. Okay, we did it. Oh, just barely we got through. Just barely. Just really barely we got through. And, whoop, there we go. Cross the finish line. That was close. That was really close. And here comes one of the longer courses of the game. This course is... It's a pretty straightforward course. There are a lot of straight lines. And there are very few turns we actually have to worry a lot about. There is gonna be one part that's really interesting. Also, the reason why we don't go for the inner circle there, even though it would technically be fast to go for it, is because it's impossible to go for it because of how bad the boat steering is. Because when we go there, we have increased speed, and there is no way really we can get there without slowing down so much it's not worth it. So we always go for the outer ring there. Even though it technically would be quick to go for the inner one, but it's sadly impossible. And even if it's possible I managed to do it once, it's so high risk, so it's not really worth it. I think it would save us like a half second or something like that to go for inner circle, but missing it loses us so much more time, so it's never really not worth going for it. It also depends on a lot of factors whether or not you can even go for it. Like what speed you currently were on and a lot of other stuff. There we go, let's go here. What we want to avoid here is getting thrown into the wall, because that last turn there is a little scary actually, because it's very easy to get thrown into the wall because of how bad the boat control is. But we should be able to avoid, and we have been able to avoid it these two races, so that's lovely. We're on the final lap now. And Hello Kitty is going in the wrong direction. And now she's going in the right direction again. But yes, the AI in this game is really interesting. One of the most fun parts of this game is actually just looking at the AI map screen and see what the AI is doing. A fun thing I sometimes do when I'm like on my own, like when I play off stream, is like I go to the third race and sit there on the finish line and see how long it takes for the AI to finish. One time I sat there for like 40 minutes and the AI did not finish. Like I was in first place after 40 minutes. And that was on this course. So yeah, no AI finished the course in 40 minutes, because this course the AI is horrible at. We might see it, we might not, but the AI really loves the top right corner of this course, and it's very likely all of them get stuck there. Or at least some of them. It's very likely. The AI can basically sit and be stuck there for forever, pretty much. So here we go. Oh my gosh, are we seeing some bad marathon luck? Oh, okay, good. We got to see it a little bit. Not as much as we want though. As you can see, they are like standing there driving towards that wall, and yeah, it's interesting. There are a couple of times where I've seen every single AI sit lined up towards that wall. It's a remarkable sight when you see it because it's like so funny to watch how bad the AI is in this game. We missed that bird, thankfully. It's very easy to actually get bird right there. And there we go. This course is done. Now we get to a course that looks way scarier than this when you look at it at the map. It looks like there should be a lot of turns here, but there really isn't. You're basically gonna drive around in a circle. Because you are gonna try to hit these parts where there are really no walls because we're in a boat and the collision doesn't work for both. So we are not losing any time, thankfully, for crashing to walls. What we want to do is basically run around in a circle here to get through these circles. Because that's like the fast way to get through this. Due to how the boat controls works, pretty much. So we are basically just going around in a circle there 3 times and then we're done. This course looks way scarier than this on the map. This is really an interesting course. And there we have the Hello Kitty cruise. Oh no, we got clocked. We got clocked at a really unfortunate time. That's like the worst time really to get clocked, because at the start of a speed boost cycle, the game does know you are in a speed boost and you won't get increased speed and you will lose your speed boost and be stuck on normal speed. And there we go, done with that course. And now we start on the final tour, the final 4 courses. The first 2 courses are not really that scary. This course though is one of the more important courses to get well in a speedrun, and it's not going well now. We need the first item box and we need that to be a triple boost, because this course is the only course where you really can reliably, or not reliably, but like, reliably is the wrong word, but to realistically get and use 6 triple boosts. If that happens, you are basically turning any run into a really fantastic run. The reason for that is because this is like the only course where you can do triple boost 2 times at full power in a lap, and there are 2 boxes that are tied to each other in a way that makes them possible to do the box duplication glitch with one another. So yeah, it's a really important course to get going right if you want to go for the world record. But in a marathon run, we don't really care about that because the RNG needed for that is like beyond what we expect to see in a marathon run. It's the kind of it's like your normal marathon run, but instead of it being bad luck, it's like good luck, pretty much. It's, yeah. You know how people say, I've never seen this happen before during marathons like that, but it's good luck instead of like something weird bad happening. So it's not something we really count on seeing. And one of the important parts here is the B cycles. The B cycles are rarely a problem, and thankfully we haven't get clocked enough for it to be a problem. But during certain clock cycles and speed boost cycles, it's really nasty to avoid those Bs. But we have thankfully not come on one of those cycles. So yeah, here we go. And now we're gonna enter our final airplane stage. This stage has a lot of birds on it. We have to keep track of the birds. I do memorize the most common bird cycles, but depending on when and where we get clocked, it might shift heavily, but I am gonna try to get the bird here. The problem here with the birds is that the birds are most of the time off screen, so you can sometimes not see where the birds are until you are right at them. Therefore, it's really important to memorize where the birds are on this course. Which is quite easy actually, as long as you are on normal pace for the course. But once you get clocked and stuff like that, it really affects where you are on the cycle, where you reach places. So it's in those cases you have to like do an estimate, and sometimes your estimate is just wrong and you get burned. Thankfully there is not really a huge punishment for getting burned by any birds here, but it's still annoying and it's still a little bit of time loss. There we go, get through that circle. And there we have the Hello Kitty Ferris wheel. You come out of bird here, so we go there instead. And then we have a poor little AI running against the wall. And then we have some other AI running in the wrong direction. And then we have a cone, we need to avoid that. And the birds, well, there we go. And there we go, reach finish line. Now we're gonna enter the hardest course of the game to learn. This stage took me so long to learn to play well, it's weird. The scary part on this is that you are playing with a boat, and the routing for this course is extremely precise as well. Any wrong you really do anyway on this course is gonna come back for you later. Because you are like so relying on how the boat control works here to get around this course quickly. Need to touch this one, and then we need to not touch the ice cubes. And there we go, lovely. On lap 2 and 3 we can also have the AIs going all over the place, which means that they can actually go in the opposite direction when we go through the two ice cubes, which can cause a huge problem. They can crash into us and bump us into the ice cubes, which ruins the entire lap really. But thankfully it looks like they are going the right direction, so we shouldn't have any problems with that. Perfect. The thing that really made this course start working for me was when I figured out that on this turn here you are actually better off going through this little opening here, even though it looks really scary. It's really easy to do it. That means you can enter this curve in a way where you can basically get through there and you don't get flung into the wall. And there we go, lovely. This was a really good course. And now we start on the final course. The final course is a course I feel like had the biggest change due to the new update. First of all, they broke the crab models. These are supposed to be crab models. They were broken. They have destroyed the crab models. They basically look... yeah, they definitely not look like crabs now. But the most important part isn't that. The more important part is gonna come up here. Here is a turn that's really scary to do. And due to the new update, when we touch the wall, we basically slow them down. So we lose time, but we still want to do that even though we lose a little bit of time. It does, however, sadly also increase the probability of us getting hit by the crab there, so we lose yet another bit of time. This is the course that suffered the most from the new update. Oh no, we got clocked here. That's really expected. It's really hard to get through this course without getting clocked due to how long it is. And the really important as well, and the position of the boxes, and the fact that AI actually knows to play this course. Some courses where you think you're gonna get clocked on a lot, you don't, because the AI don't really pick up boxes, because the boxes are not really positioned in the AI route, but here they are. They are both positioned close to AI route. Oh, there we go. We managed to pull that off. That's lovely. But they are really close to AI route, first of all. They are also... it's also not a long course, and it's a course where the AI can actually play the course properly. So it's like the perfect combo for making sure that the AI gets a lot of clocks. Which makes it so that this course very rarely goes well. And here we go. Can we get through? No, we cannot. Get this though, so we get the good turn. Perfect. Perfect little glitch that allowed us to turn even though we were in that spinning animation. And 3, 2, 1, time! There we go. That was the final course. And we finished in first place. And we got 48 points. And we're done. restarts. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for having me here today on this doing this performing this lovely run. So, what time did I get? Okay, while we wait for the host, I'm gonna show off another little glitch of this game right now. I'm gonna show off a little menu glitch. This game has a lot of interesting menu glitches. The most easy to perform one is a glitch I'm gonna show right here. We are gonna press... In a quick, we're gonna press A and B. There we go. Now we have entered the glitchy state of the game. We can't really progress through this menu, because the game thinks we have already picked this character. So we cannot pick this character again. We can pick any other character. But we cannot go here and pick this character again. We can also go back to basically go back and pick them. But yeah, that was